People like to have alcohol if someone is there. They need company so that they can enjoy it. So tea has
Okay.
that kind of connection. But when
Okay.
you're alone, you want to enjoy a coffee.
Good afternoon, Anjali. Anjali, I you can see and hear me clearly, right? Let's get
Yes.
technology sorted first. Okay. So good to know that. Welcome to your first session with me, Anjali. As you know,
Thank
my
you,
name is
ma'am.
Jennifer. And just a short intro about myself. I love to read. I love traveling more, and I prefer coffee to tea. So, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, my name is Anjali Bhatt. I belong to Uttarakhand, but I live in Chandigarh. I'm married. I have two kids. I also have a YouTube channel where I upload English related videos, be it grammar
Okay.
topic or spoken English. And yeah, in my free time, I also like to read books, and I too prefer coffee to tea. So that's all about me.
Okay, okay. Good to meet a coffee lover. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I have had to defend coffee so many times. People are like, how can you
Okay.
like coffee? So it's bitter. I said, no, but I like it.
Mhm.
Yeah, you were
When
saying
you're
something,
alone,
Anjali.
I mean, tea
Hmm.
is something that you want a company, right? If someone is with you, then you obviously you like to take tea. But when you are alone, so you would like
Hmm.
to enjoy your coffee. I
Okay,
think.
I like. Okay, I that's a very interesting take. Well, yeah, I mean, I really have to think about why you said that. We'll talk about it maybe later in our
Okay.
session. Oh, I've never heard anyone say that. Anyway, so Anjali, you said you also like to read, and I see a whole lot of
Mhm.
books on your shelf behind you. So tell me, what kind of books do you like to read?
Actually, ma'am, earlier I was not into books. So I took some sessions, some such conversational sessions. So tutors told me to start reading books in order to improve sentence structures
Absolutely.
and vocabulary and a good knowledge about English, because there are so many dialogues using so many dialogues and past simple tense. So
Absolutely.
yeah, that's how I started. I tried to inculcate this habit of reading books. So whatever books I get, I mean, if that is something good, that is easy to understand or full of vocabulary, good vocabulary that I can improve my English with, so I simply read it.
Okay. Okay. I like what you just said that you pick up a book that's easy to understand because that's important. So if I try to
Yes,
read a book that is, say, above my grade, I will get frustrated. Okay. Okay.
yes. And you
So
want to
tell me
keep your
the
interest alive so that you can read some more
absolutely.
books. Otherwise,
Absolutely.
if you don't understand, if you get bored, so obviously you will not, you cannot be
Continue.
able, yeah, you cannot continue your interest or you reading books.
Absolutely. So, if research says that if you don't understand about 80% of what is on the page, you are going to be frustrated and give up.
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't
Okay.
want to give up.
Exactly. Okay.
Right.
So, share any book that you read that you really found very interesting. Not only where vocabulary is concerned, but the content itself was very interesting. So, when was the last time you read such a book?
Uh, Actually, it's been a long time when I read books because these days I'm not getting enough time to read. So long back, I read one book, and the name of the book was uh, my. I don't remember the
Okay.
name of the book. So
Okay,
it
what's in
is,
a
yeah,
name? Shakespeare said that. So just tell me about what was in the book. Let's forget the name.
okay. So it was a story about a boy and a girl. So they met at college. They start loving each other. They fell in love with each other, and they spend time. So I think they were from different backgrounds. So
Hmm.
they were scared if the family would agree or not. So finally, I mean, eventually enough after going through lots of struggles or issues, they finally got married, but they were in love with each other. But yes, at last, in the last, his wife got sick. She had a very
Okay.
serious illness, and at the end,
Hmm.
she died. So
Okay.
yes, so her husband wrote the book. So it was his story how he fell in love with his wife, and how they struggle, how they spend time with each other, and what kind of
Hmm.
problems they went through. And at the end, when everything was good, I think she was pregnant or something, but she
Hmm.
died. So when there
Oh,
was a
that's
time when they
tragic.
started to enjoy their own lives. So her
Hmm.
wife
Hmm.
got sick and then she left. I mean, she died. So it
Okay,
was an
that's
interesting
tragic.
story. Yes,
Hmm.
tragic. It was so um, lovely story, I would say.
Okay. Okay. So when you say that the husband wrote the story, is it a true story or it's just a
It is
piece of
true. It
someone's
No, it
imagination?
was a true story. Yeah, her husband wrote the story after she died. So he remembered each and every nuance of his story, and he recollected those memories, and then he wrote the story.
Okay. So he
Yeah.
kind of immortalized his love by writing a
Yes.
story. That
Right.
is so beautiful, but so tragic. It's like a Greek tragedy,
Great
a
tragedy.
love story that
Literature.
ends. Yeah, a Greek tragedy that's a love story, but it ends in
Love
tragedy.
story. Yes. Right.
Okay, there are so many books which follow the same kind of theme, and the first
Hmm.
thing that comes to mind is Romeo and Juliet. I mean, what
Juliet.
can be more tragic than that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's move on to happier topics, Anjali.
Okay. Right.
Okay, so in general, you said talk to me about that. So when you're alone, you prefer coffee, but when you're with
Hmm.
people, you have tea. What made you say that?
Because that's my own experience. I
Yeah.
like to have tea when someone is with me. For example, if my brother or any friend or my husband. So that time I like to have tea. It is like alcohol. People like to have alcohol if someone is there. They need company so that they can enjoy it. So tea has
Okay.
that kind of connection. But when you
Okay.
are alone, you want to enjoy a coffee. It feels good.
Okay.
I don't
So
know why.
have okay.
But
Okay. It's
yeah,
like me time. So you
me
have time to
time.
introspect and
Yes,
okay.
right. That's true.
Okay. I'm going to test that theory, Anjali. I'm going to see when guests come over, what do I feel like having? Do I feel like having tea or do I feel like having coffee? That'd
Well,
be
that's
interesting.
subjective. That's subjective, actually. If you don't like tea, then obviously you would not like to have tea, even if there is someone with you or any guest.
Yeah, true. Okay. So let's also talk about Uttarakhand and Chennai. It's like two different worlds,
Mm-hmm.
isn't it? So you were born and brought up in Uttarakhand, but now you are in Chennai.
No, I mean Chandigarh.
Compare.
Chandigarh.
Oh,
I
Chandigarh.
was I was born in Uttarakhand, but when I was 3 or 4 years old, I moved to Delhi. So I spent my childhood and completed
Okay.
my education in Delhi.
In
And after
Delhi,
marriage, yes, and in after
you
marriage,
moved
I
to
moved to
Chandigarh.
Chandigarh. Right.
Okay, okay. So Delhi, Chandigarh, not much of a difference. So same, but if it was Uttarakhand you had grown up in,
Hmm.
that would have been different. Okay, have you had the chance to go back to Uttarakhand? Have you been to
Yes,
Uttarakhand?
yeah. We sometimes we go when there is any function, any marriage, or sometimes we go there for 3 to 4 days. So
Okay.
yeah,
In
because
that
Uttarakhand
case,
is lovely. When you go there, you don't want to come back. The beauty, that
exactly,
calmness, that
yes,
serenity,
absolutely.
and you are surrounded with nature. So everything. I mean, you enjoy the nature.
So that's the reason I asked you compare Chandigarh and Uttarakhand. So, what is it about Uttarakhand that you like? You've already mentioned calmness, serenity. What else? How is
Because
Chandigarh different?
in Uttarakhand, there are some similarities as well, because here in Chandigarh also you have so many trees and parks and greenery. which is also there in Uttarakhand, you know. But again, Chandigarh is very small city, but Uttarakhand is full of nature. You know, you can see mountains and rivers, and so many things are there. So sometimes you can connect with the nature as a whole. I mean, you are just one person, and the nature is so vast, it's so big, it's so huge.
One with nature. You don't feel as
One
if
with
nature
nature.
and you are separate. You feel completely one
Yes,
with
you can
nature.
feel that connection, and you are away from all kinds of, you know, tensions and work and other stuff. So you can feel that, you know, that serenity, that calmness. Even when you are depressed, you are not good, you are not healthy, you are sick. So doctors also suggest you to go to the hilly area so that you can be
Yes,
very close to the nature
yeah,
and you can reduce your anxiety and depression. So that
absolutely.
is really good.
Okay. What about the people? Do you think, okay, compare the people in Chandigarh and the people in Uttarakhand. Do you think there's a difference or people are just people?
Yeah, everyone is not same. So some people are similar, some are not. Even when you compare Delhi or Chandigarh. So it is subjective. I mean, all people are not same, be it any city, right? Some people are
Okay.
very frank, they like to talk to people, and some they are kind of introverts. They don't want to talk to anyone. They want to be alone. They just want to enjoy their own company. So yeah, people in Uttarakhand, I think they are very simple. They live in a simplicity and they do take care of other people. If you talk about as an overview, so they like to help each other. So I'm not saying that
Okay.
people in Chandigarh they don't help each other, but
Don't. Yeah.
yeah, I mean it's an overview because you know those there are so many villages, so village people they always try to help each other, right? So
Okay.
they
So
always
are you saying,
embrace. Yes,
yeah, carry on, carry on.
yeah, they
Carry
always
on, Anjali.
embrace people who visit them. So they try to do everything that they could that they can.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well done there. That was a good save. Okay. So the people in Uttarakhand obviously are more simpler and they're ready to embrace anyone who goes there. Okay. Okay. Now, what else do you like doing? So, if I were to ask you, Anjali, share a day in your life. How does your day go? What does it look like?
As yeah, as I'm a mother of two kids, so I'm always busy with them. They always keep me busy and engaged.
Yeah.
So yeah, as a mother, in the morning I try to wake up early. So sometimes if I have time, I try to do some exercise, and then I prepare breakfast. My husband also helps me, and I get my kids ready for school. My younger son sometimes he throws tantrums, so I have to do whatever he asks me for. And yeah, when they all go, after that I do other household activities. I take a bath, so I um, try to read some books or practice English or like such sessions. So these days I have been working on my vocabulary, so I note down some new words and I try to incorporate them in my conversation whenever it's possible or whenever I'm able to remember them, recall them. And after then I go to pick my son from school, and when they are back, sometimes I spend some time with them. You know, I feed them, and sometimes I try to watch TV, though they don't let me watch TV because they want to watch cartoons and other stuff. But still, yeah, after that in the evening, I try, I help them with their studies, their homework. And in the evening, I also have a class, an online class. So, yeah, I attend that. After that, so after that, I play with my kids for some time. And then again in the evening, I start doing household chores, dinner and everything. And around 10 or 10:30, I go to bed.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. So from what I see, most of the time we, or I would say your day, in your day, you are always doing something for your children, your family, I mean your husband. When you do get free time, what is the first thing that you like to do? So read, watch TV. What is it that you prefer
Yeah,
to?
I try to pick any book so that I can read something. And if not that, I simply like to lie in my bed and doing nothing. So that is also a
Yeah,
special time because you don't want to do anything.
absolutely.
You are just on your bed.
Hmm. I
You
think
also
that
need
is
some
an
break,
art.
right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's how you can replenish yourself with some energy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We have to replenish ourselves, otherwise, we will completely,
Yeah.
run out of battery.
Sometimes I feel totally burnt out. I don't want to do anything, even if it is important.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, we all go through periods of burnout. Now, I'm going to ask you something. You are on your journey to improving, going through the journey of improving your English language. What advice would you have? You run a channel, you said. Okay, you got a
Yes.
channel. Now, what advice do you give to learners who want to improve their English or their spoken English? What's the advice that
Mhm.
you give them?
I would like to tell them that you need to speak. Don't go deep into grammar. I mean, there are some topics that are important to learn as a beginner, but don't focus too much on grammar because you need to speak. And the more you speak, the more comfortable you will get it. And it will also improve your mistakes automatically. Because when you listen to someone, when you're talking to someone, so you are doing it actively. So this is called active learning. You are participating in an activity which needs speaking, and if you do that you will improve in no time. That's what I
Okay.
feel.
Okay, well, you are on the right path, Anjali. A little caveat there. When you are speaking, of course, you need to speak to be fluent, but the only thing that you need to be mindful of is that you speak to someone who will be able to help you with the corrections.
Right. Yes,
So,
that's true.
okay,
That's
okay. Now, let me. Okay, so what's the next step? Okay, I speak, I improve my fluency. Now, let's say, for example, I know just 100 words in English.
mm-hmm.
How do I do that? What do I do? I exhausted all my 100 words, and now I'm blank because I don't have any more left words in my vocabulary bank. How do I improve my vocabulary? What's your take on that?
So I think for that you need to read books because when you read, you will find so many new words that you don't know the meaning of. So that's how you can improve. You can simply search it on Google or on ChatGPT. Try to uh, get some examples so that because it's not only enough. It's not enough to know the meaning of a word. You also have to know that how to use it in a sentence, right? So
Absolutely.
sometimes a meaning gives different, a word gives different meanings in different contexts. So make you must be able to use that in a particular sentence. And after know you know the meaning, you know how to use it in a sentence. Then you have to try to speak it in conversations. You have to use it in your conversations because that's how you can remember or you can learn those words. Otherwise, if you keep writing word meanings uh, and you don't use them in your conversation, more likely you will forget them after
Absolutely.
a certain period of time. And apart from that, you also need to listen to some English podcast or English speeches. So I think that also helps.
Absolutely. Okay. So I would say that is really good advice, Anjali, because like you said, if you want to speak before, it's like you as if speaking in English is like a tap. You open the tap, but if your
Yes,
tank is empty, nothing's
and
going to come out of that tap. So
yeah,
you have to
that's true.
fill the tank. Yeah.
Right.
And how
Right.
you're going to do that is by reading and by listening to
Listening.
podcasts. Okay. And
Yes.
active, like you said, active listening or active learning. Okay. Okay. So Also talk to me about I'm reading a book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the advice is read a book. So I read a book, I come across words, and then I write it down. Okay, and then if I'm not using it, I'm going to forget. Okay, and
Yes,
like you said,
that's for sure.
words can, yes, so and you're right, research says that if you don't use it at least 8 to 10 times, you're going to forget.
Yes.
Okay,